In this lecture, let us see how to use the stack generator function provided by D3. The stack generator functions are usually used if we have to visualize some kind of multi-series data. So suppose we want to represent the number of items sold in a computer shop like desktops, laptops, monitors, printers, etc. in a week. Then in that case, we can use a stack generator. You might have seen stacked horizontal or vertical bar charts where each bar will be having different segments represented by different colors. So in that case, each bar represents something as a whole, and also each segment in bar represents some kind of data. So in this lecture, let's see how to use the stack generator function provided by D3 to create a horizontal bar chart. Let me correct the spelling. Okay. Now let me add the script section, and within this let me add the data. So where data equals, it is going to be an array of objects. So suppose I want to represent details from Monday to Saturday, that is the number of items sold from Monday to Saturday. So I need to have 6 objects. Now suppose I want to represent desktops sold, say 80, then say laptops 210, then suppose I want to represent printers, say 50, and also monitors, say 60. So just imagine that this is the data for Monday. Similar to this, we need to have 6 more items. So let me just copy this 6 more times and just make changes to the numbers. Okay. So this is for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So there are 6 objects. Now let me change the numbers for each of these days. So as you could see here, I have made some changes to the numbers for all these days. Next, what we need to have? We need to have SVG for sure. So let me add where width equals 600 and height equals 500. Then let me add the SVG. So where SVG equals D3 dot select body dot append SVG, and let me set ATTR width and height. So width, this is there in the width variable, and dot ATTR height, which is there in the height variable, right? So height, let me also style the SVG with background color pink. So style background pink. Let me save this and show you. See, the SVG is now added. Next, we are going to use the stack generator function provided by D3. Okay. So how this works is that for each of these items, it will create an array with lower and upper bound values. That is, for desktops, there will be one array, for laptops, one array, for printers, one array, and for monitors, one array. So for each of these items, that is, suppose this is considered as a series, for each of these items in the series, there will be a lower and upper bound value. So for the first array, the values will be 0 and 80 for this one. That is, the lower bound will be 0 and upper bound will be 80. In the second one, that is for the second item, it will be 0 and 130. For the third item, it will be 0 and 40, like that. Then for laptops, it will be, for the first one, that is for Monday, it will be 80 and 80 plus 210, that is 290. Which means for this one, the minimum or the lower bound will be 80 and the upper bound will be 290. For this one, the lower bound will be 130 and the upper bound will be 130 plus 150, which is 280. For this one, the lower bound will be 40 and the upper bound will be 40 plus 200, which is 240. So like that, 4 unique arrays will be generated having lower and upper bound values. So let me first specify where stack equals D3 dot stack. That is the name of the function, which is the stack generator function. Then we need to specify the keys, that is for which items we need to have stacks. So in this case, it is desktops, laptops, printers and monitors. So those values should be passed inside an array. So let me specify desktops, that is the first item or the series, then laptops, then printers, and finally monitors. So these are the 4 keys we need to have, or 4 items we need to have. Now let me show you how this data and this stack generated data will look like. So let me add console.log. First let us see data, and let me also display console.log stack of data. That is, for the stack generator function we are providing the data as well. In between let me have some separation. So console.log, this is just to have a separation between those two data. Okay, now let me save this and show you. Nothing is added in the SVG. Why? Because we haven't written code for that. I'm just trying to show you how this stack generator function works. So let me click more tools, developer tools. See, this is the console. So as you could see here we have an array of 6 objects and another array having 4. So this array is actually what we have provided. That is the data. For each of this 0, desktops, 80, 210, 50, 60, which is the first row, as you could see here. So this is the data we have provided. Then we have another array. Let me click this. So as I have already mentioned, this is for desktops. So for desktops, for this first item, the lower bound is 0 and the upper bound is 80. Then 0, 130, that is for the second item. 0, 40, 0, 70, 0, 100 and 0, 90. Now let me just close this first one, and second one is 80, 290, which is that for this second series, that is the laptops series, for the first item, the lower bound is 80 and the upper bound is 80 plus 210, which is 290, right? That is displayed here. Then for the second item, the lower bound is 130 and the upper bound is 130 plus 150, which is 280. For this one, it is 40 and 240, that is 40 plus 200, 240. Like that, we have 4 arrays that displays the values for the lower and upper bound, as we could see here. Now we are going to make use of this data to represent horizontal bar chart. That is the stacked bar chart. Now we need to have 4 stacks in each bar, right? So let us display them in different colors. So let me have an array named colors with 4 items. Let me specify the colors like indigo, then silver, then deep pink and also purple. So these are the 4 colors for 4 series. Okay. Next, let us add a G element corresponding to each series. That is 1 G for desktops, 1 G for laptops, 1 for printers and 1 for monitors. And let us specify the fill color for them. That is, for the items in the G element, that particular color will be given. So let me specify where series as svg dot select all, because we need to have 4 G elements, right? G, then let me join the data, which is that it is stack of data. Then I need to specify enter and append, because we don't have any G element as of now. So enter and append G. Then what should be done? Let us specify the style. So dot style for fill. Let me specify function d comma I, because I need to decide the color based on their position. So d comma I, and within this return colors of I, so that that particular color will be returned as the value of fill color. And after this, what we need to do, we actually have to add rectangles for each of these items, right? So let me specify series dot select all. Here also we need to have multiple rectangles. So rect. Then we need to join the data. We have actually joined it here. So you can just specify function d return d. because we don't have to specify again stack of data. It is already joined for the G element. So you can just specify function D, return D. Then let me specify enter and append. So here dot enter, we need to append rectangles for all the selected ones. So rect. Then we have to specify the width, height, x and y values, right? So let me first set the height, because we are going to use horizontal bar charts. So the height can be the same for all the bars. So let me specify height as say 25. Then let me set the width for this, that is for each rectangle. So dot attr of width. How we can get the width? The width will be actually, let me click this. For the first item, the width should be 80, right? So if we subtract 0 from 80, we could get the width. And for the second item, the width should be 210. So we can specify 290 minus 80. So if we specify d of 1 minus d of 0, we could get the width for the rectangle. So let me specify function d, and here return d of 1 minus d of 0. Hope you understand this. We have to subtract the first value from the second value. That is why d of 1 is the second item in the array and d of 0 is the first item in the array. Next we need to set the x and y, that is the top left corners x and y coordinates. So for x and y, let me specify x will be d of 0, right? That is the first value. So function d, I can specify return d of 0. And for y, what can be the y? It should be the distance from the top. So as the height is set as 25, if I specify I into 30, there will be a gap of 5 px, right? So let me specify. Hope you understand this. We are adding rectangles at the correct positions. We have done this kind of bar charts a couple of times before. So for y, let me specify function d comma I, and within this let me specify return I into 30. Okay, let me save this and show you. See, you could see 6 horizontal bar charts are added, each having 4 different colors or 4 different stacks. Let me remove this pink background. We actually add it just to make sure that there is no error in the code up to that part. So it does not look good. Let me save this. See, so this is the color for desktops, laptops, printers and monitors. It is displayed in that same order. That is, we have specified desktop, laptops, printers and monitors, and for colors we have specified indigo, silver, deep pink and purple. So they are displayed in the same order. And if you just click this, this is 80, then this is 210, 50 and 60. This is 130, 150, 30 and 40. Then 40, 200, 45, 80. Like that it is getting displayed. So if you want, you can change the colors. Instead of deep pink, suppose I specify pink. See, now the color is changed. And now they are displayed in the same order as we have specified. Suppose we want to try some other order. Suppose we want to reverse the order, then what we can do is, we can specify after this, you can add order, and within brackets you can specify d3 dot stack order reverse. In that case, it will be displayed in the reverse order. As you could see here, now it is displayed in the reverse order. Suppose we want to display in the ascending or descending order. That is, all the items in one series will be added and then they will be arranged in the ascending or descending order. Let us try ascending order. Let me save this. See, now the items are displayed in the ascending order, and we can also see descending order if we want. Let me save this. See, now they are displayed in the descending order. So in this lecture we have seen how to create a stacked horizontal bar chart using the stack generator function provided by D3. The stack generator actually generates an array for each of the series we want to represent, and each of the item will have a lower and upper bound value. That values are used here to decide the width of the segment and also for the starting of the segment. So hope you understand this code. Actually, when we specify d3.stack, we are actually generating unique arrays for different items, and we need to specify keys, that is which all items should be represented, and we have added a G element for each of these series, that is 4 G elements, and here we have added rectangles within that and specified height as a constant value, as this is a horizontal bar chart. If we are trying to display this as a vertical bar chart, in that case width will be the same but the height will be different based on these values. And we get the width by subtracting the lower bound from the upper bound. So this is the stacked horizontal bar chart we have created using D3's stack generator function, which is d3.stack.